Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and in today's video I want you to spend the day with me in Lublin. Lublin is actually a city in Poland where I was born. There's definitely a lot of history in Lublin. It's a rather small city and there's not that much to do besides like hanging out in historic Old Town, and I just think it's really cool for me to show you kind of like where I was born. And I was kind of inspired by my cousin's apartment where we are staying while here. This is kind of her crash pad. She actually permanently lives in England and she lives in Bristol. So she was studying at a university here to be a nurse and she had to fly back a couple of times a year. She got this deal in a pre-war historic building where she literally pays 800 zloty for a 2-bedroom apartment, which I think is like 200 bucks a month, which it's sick. It's like in historic Lublin Old Town. I mean, it's amazing. And I was just like, you know what? I am so used to showing you guys like, you know, America and like Miami and fun stuff. So I was just like, let me show you like a day in my life in Lublin, because it's definitely very different from like my life in America, because, you know, you don't get to live in like pre-war historic buildings. Lublin is like a pretty cool city, but there's really not much to do besides go to a university and go to like Biedronka. But I'm just definitely going to show you historic Old Town. I'm going to show you my cousin's apartment because I think that's really cool, and it's definitely very eye-opening to people because this is what people used to live like back in the day, like in Poland. I mean, it's still here, but the problem with like these apartments, the pre-war historic apartments, is that they are being bought up by developers and they are being developed out to be like more modern and like expensive luxury apartments. So this is something that you guys might never honestly see ever in your life again unless you watch my vlog or like other vloggers vlogs. I also wanted to ask, like, please keep your negative comments to yourself, because I know that there might be some and people might have like a lot to say, especially about like the apartment that I'm going to show you or like the place that the apartment's in. But like, this is just like how people live in Poland. Not everybody lives in luxurious high rises, and people live how they can. And there's a lot of people like obviously that have these kinds of apartments and they are blessed to have these kinds of apartments. I actually used to stay in a place like this in my grandma's pre-war historic apartment a couple streets down when I would come here on summer vacations when I was like 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I thought it was like the coolest thing ever, but now like looking back and living in America and being used to living in New York and Miami and different places, I'm kind of just like, oh my god, like how did my grandma live here? There was not even like a working bathroom at my grandma's house. We had to actually bathe in like a big tub of water. We would like heat up the water and we would use her neighbor's bathroom to go to the like bathroom. And I mean, it was just insane. Like times in Poland must have been freaking crazy in the pre-war, during the war, after war era. I don't know, like I'm kind of seasoned and I'm very used to like living in places like this, like especially my cousin's apartment. And I just think it's like normal because that's what I'm used to, and that's what I was used to in Poland whenever I would stay in my grandma's house, because in the mountains we had a full beautiful home, and it wasn't like the most luxurious home either. And obviously if you guys watched my vlogs from Zakopane, you will understand that and you will see that. But like coming from such a beautiful country and even having so little or growing up in a way that I did, it really makes you appreciate life so much more, and you are so much more humble and grateful for the things that you do have. I'm so grateful for my childhood and I would never ever ever change it for anything. I definitely feel like I'm more family oriented and like just put values in family and friends, which is definitely a lot of characteristics that people nowadays are missing. So okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna finish getting ready. I'm gonna finish doing my makeup because I'm gonna look pretty for the vlog today. I want to take you guys to get some breakfast and some coffee, and we're gonna do like a quick little walk around Old Town. I want to go see the castle. We'll chill there for a little bit. Maybe we'll go to grandpa's house. I have to actually text my grandma and see if they're like available. I don't know what they're doing. I actually haven't even told them I'm here, and I've been here for like 2 days, so it's kind of like a surprise. He is 84 years old. He did live through World War II, So there is a lot of like stories that he tells me that I just think are so cool. Even though I know like there's nothing to be scared of, I'm too scared to like leave the apartment and go on the stairs by myself and just like go outside of her apartment by myself because it freaks me out. You know what I am really excited about though? I'm excited to show you guys Warsaw because I've never been. I haven't seen it, so we're gonna see it together, but I'm low-key really nervous to like go because I'm going solo. So this is definitely my first big girl step, is traveling to a different country, to a different city that I'm not familiar with by myself. It's just gonna be you and me, baby. So before we head out, let me just give you a quick tour of my cousin's apartment. If you guys want to see a full video on this and to see footage of other historical pre-war buildings, just watch the video linked right here, and I'll also be linking it down in the description box below for you guys. Keep in mind that this apartment only costs my cousin about $200 a month, which is really good, and when you convert the currency back to the Polish zloty, that also is very inexpensive. So majority of these kinds of buildings usually would scare many people, but you don't have to be afraid if you see buildings like this in Poland. Poland is a very safe country and many good and kind-hearted people live in these apartments. Only about recently Poland started to really build, but you will see majority of that reflected in cities like Warsaw, Kraków, Wrocław, and the smaller cities like Lublin are just a little bit behind in catching up. My cousin lives abroad and she studies at a university in Lublin because it's much cheaper for her to work in the UK and study in Lublin, even if she has to fly back and forth for exams and classes sometimes. So since she doesn't live in Poland full time, she is okay with having this kind of an apartment, and she actually also splits this with a friend, but the girl ended up moving out. So they were basically splitting a $200 apartment, so it cost them like $100 each. Lublin is home to a lot of students, and from May to October, it's a lively college town. Because we still have apartments like this available for rent to students, it makes it super affordable for them to come from abroad to study here. But enough about the apartment, let's go out in Old Town. So we are going to start our tour at the bottom of the hill by the Lublin Castle, and this is where majority of school trips and tour guided trips will start. So buses will park here at the bottom and you will make your way to the gate to enter Old Town. The castle was completely destroyed during World War II, so we basically just built a brand new one. Some buildings that you will see still stand, but majority were rebuilt after the war. So Lublin's Old Town is rather small in comparison to some other cities in Poland. I cannot wait to show you guys Warsaw because their Old Town is so beautiful, but Warsaw's Old Town was completely rebuilt after the war because everything was destroyed and bombed, so there was nothing to really like save. Old Town Lublin has cobblestone streets, so make sure you guys wear appropriate shoes when coming here. I'm not sure how wearing heels out here would be, but I've never tried, but I've definitely seen women wear them and it didn't really look like they seemed too comfortable, so just a little heads up. I'm so happy we have a sunny day, so you guys can really see how the colors of the buildings really pop, making Old Town that much more pretty to look at. So Lublin was home to many Jewish families before World War II and even during, and unfortunately for those that ended up staying, they were forced to live in ghettos here in Old Town. It made it really easy for the Nazis to control since getting in and out of Old Town was very limited. I think besides the two gates you will see, maybe there's one side street that you can enter Old Town with, and that's it. And it's a little sad to think about that such beautiful buildings hold so much sad history. So what I'm showing you now though is outside the ghetto zone, and this is beyond the gate. So it's still considered Old Town, but it's slowly spreading out and integrating with the rest of the city. And I wanted to quickly just show you how beautiful the architecture is because last time I was here, I think it was cloudy, so I wasn't able to capture such good shots. There is a lot of cool bars, restaurants, and ice cream spots here, and also a few really cool shops you can get souvenirs from. I walked around a little bit and then I started to get really hungry, so I went back to Old Town within the gate and I got some breakfast and coffee before my cousin was gonna pick me up. I got eggs with bread and a side salad and a cappuccino. So for some reason, if you want an American latte in Poland, always order a cappuccino because if you get a latte, it comes in like a tall glass and it's never super hot. That's the one thing I noticed, and my breakfast was to die for. There is something about the food in Poland that tastes so much better than American food. Like the eggs just taste, I don't know, they They just taste so much better. All right, you guys, a quick fit check. I like to dress for comfort. I'm not really sure my style options were the best in Poland, but it's fine. After I was done, I started making my way to meet my cousin, but I stopped at this really cool antique spot I found. They had the most amazing china, glasses, art, and this was all super old, which made it that much cooler. I didn't end up getting anything because I came to Poland with one carry-on and that barely even closed and fit my items. Let's just say I bought my parents and friends rosary beads from Zakopane because that's all that was gonna fit in my suitcase and not exceed the weight limit. They actually weigh your carry-ons at the airport before letting you fly. I never had that happen to me in America, so just be mindful. I think the carry-on limit is 18 pounds and mine was 36. Okay, so now we are going to meet my cousin because she texted me and she said she is already here, and there she is. And now we are going to a supermarket called Stokrotka. That is another supermarket chain besides Biedronka and Lewiatan, which are super popular in Poland. I found this really cool chocolate milk that I've never seen before. We had to actually stop to pick up some potatoes, but I ended up shopping for a couple very interesting items that I've never tried before, and let me just talk about it. Okay, so the Raffaello ice cream was to die for. I literally devoured it. And now I'm drinking the Milka chocolate milk, which is also to die for. It is so much better than any other American chocolate milk that I have ever had. I don't know. And since my grandpa didn't want to hang out with us tonight, we ended up making dinner at my aunt's house, and my cousin is an amazing cook, by the way. She made mashed potatoes, mielone, which I guess are kind of like meatballs, but Polish, and a nice healthy side of broccoli. This dinner was to die for. We also had some lettuce with sour cream and some veggies. That is actually a very common salad dressing that we use, sour cream. We put it on everything. Then we had some live entertainment brought to you by my cousin Angela. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that you subscribe and turn the post notification bell button on so you never miss another video from me. I will see you again next week with a brand new vlog. Bye!